Somewhere in the North Atlantic, May 1920. A group of middle-aged people are stranded in a lifeboat as they watch their cruise ship sink. You are watching 1985's Attack of the Beast Creatures, starring Tom Cruise. Just kidding, it stars nobody. Well, that's not entirely true, just the people that were in this movie never did anything before or after this movie came out. However, I'm sure DJ's hair went on to do amazing work in the hair game. So that being said, if the people who starred in this movie were hoping that their roles in Attack of the Beast Creatures would propel them to bigger and better projects, they were wrong. But that's okay, because this movie is a good, bad movie. And people who love movies, especially horror movies, know what I mean when I say a good, bad movie. For anybody that might not know what a good, bad movie is, it's one where there's bad acting, the script is tired, predictable, or weird, and you're watching it the whole time, and you realize it's a bad movie, but inexplicably, for some reason, you're having a blast watching it. Okay, it's like it's a redeemability. It's really hard to define, but you know it when you're watching it, and you're having fun, I think. It's just a bad movie, but you're having fun watching it, I think. The simplest way to put it. Now, just a plain bad movie, well, you know that too, and it's almost like torture to watch. And you probably once or twice yell out, "Why the fuck am I watching this? Why can't I just turn it off?" I have a problem with that. You know, I'm a soldier, a true bond. To date, I think the worst movie I've ever seen is Demon Child 666. Turn that robot baby off! So anyway, they're there. The cast is stranded in the lifeboat en route to the island of the beast creatures. And as soon as we see one of the players stand up and recite a line, we know that we're watching a bad movie.
They're drifting. We're drifting away from the other lifeboats.
Well, somebody do something. You're part of the crew.
Hey, sit down.
Well, look where we're going.
Do you think we're caught in a current?
You must be. There's no reason to get alarmed, though. But I get the feeling we're drifting faster than the current.
I say players because that's how a lot of the acting comes off. It's like I'm watching a bad community center play. Ugh. I think the men in this movie are actually noticeably worse than the women. The women actually come off as a little bit more organic and natural, as the men kind of deliver their lines in a wooden and monotone kind of way. But that being said, the women, it's still pretty bad. So everyone in this movie is pretty much a bad actor. But believe it or not, there's actually a standout. And he goes by the name of Phil.
We have to find different ways to exist out here until help comes. And the only way to survive is with food.
He's right, you know. Let's see, how about roast duck? Smoked salmon?
Mrs. Gordon, you're getting me really hungry.
Yeah, they should hold it until we could fix it properly and wash it out. There's enough dead wood in this vicinity to get a fire going.
Good.
Sounds good, Phil. You guys collect dead wood from the dead wood vicinity. I'll go back to the boat vector and procure us some wooden ignition sticks, otherwise known as matches to the layman. Then we'll meet back at an agreed upon quadrant and create a warming sector. This is a great script, Mr. Hutton. Goodbye, DJ's hair. Hello, Hollywood, California. Huh? Now let's talk about some other things that make this a great, good, bad movie. Let's talk about the Beast, for instance. The first time we see these things on camera, we know we've been duped by a misleading title. At least I did. I don't know. Small Beast maybe would have been more on the ball, more accurate. But yeah, so all they are is like Barbie dolls painted red, basically. And the attack scenes are so ridiculous. It's basically actors getting these dolls chucked at them, like the dolls, the creatures, the beast creatures are jumping and running up at them, but it's just people throwing them off camera. And the dolls that are being chucked, they've been like previously glued to or tied to the actors, however it is, to make it look like they got multiple beast creatures biting on them, and it's pretty ridiculous. And they sound like ornery cats, which is kind of cool. You're also going to get a kick out of watching these beasts run.
Hey, what through those bushes?
Someone in the sound department recorded themselves slapping themselves on the legs because it sounds so cartoony. It literally sounds like this. And I'm assuming that this was the filmmaker's way of saying, yeah, we know our beast creatures are total shit, and it was kind of like self-aware, having a little fun. If not, probably the best shot in this movie, and the shot that just made me laugh out loud, and I never laugh out loud, well, rarely laugh out loud, was when they show the little beast creatures worshiping this idol. They're just standing like basically motionless in the field. I think there's like an arm or two that move, and their hair kind of wisps around in the wind. They're all worshiping this cat idol thing. You just have to see it. For the most part, the editing in this film is pretty solid. You know, they do their establishing shots, and you know, it's pretty solid. Like, I can't really complain about that. But there's this one clip that you wouldn't even notice if you're just watching it. It happens so fast, but I noticed it when I was pulling clips, and it's just like this weird disjointed cut when a girl gets attacked. It's so like choppy. It's like a blink of an eye type of thing, but I noticed it. Or here, when the rescue ship comes at the end, and instead of showing the ship, it's just a guy on the bank, the last survivor on the bank going, it's a ship, and they just show him running down the dunes towards the ship, but they don't show the ship? Like, are you kidding me? You can't do that. You gotta show the ship, man. All they had to do was like insert like a matte painting or photo in the background on the horizon, and there you have it. Instead, they just show a lifeboat coming to pick up the two survivors. I mean, I don't understand why they didn't show like a matte painting like they did at the beginning of the movie of a ship sinking. Maybe they ran out of money, or maybe they could only do it in silhouette because it's in silhouette. Another weird editing choice was this line.
I don't get it, John.
You're supposed to be in the North Atlantic someplace.
If you ask anybody who didn't know any better, they'd swear in the tropics.
I know, this whole damn place doesn't make any sense.
I don't get it.
Maybe it's just a bad dream.
Again, I didn't really notice it the first time I watched this movie, but upon a second viewing, I was like, why did they say that? I suppose the filmmakers were trying to imply that they had landed on Bizarro Island or something, or it was another dimension or something weird like that. They imply it, well, it's said at the beginning of the movie that it takes place in May, and I think it could get warm in the North Atlantic in May. Temperature is not really my point here. My point is that they don't establish this any further or talk about it, them feeling that they're in a weird place through the movie. And this dialogue could get the axe because you're on an island where lagoons are filled with acid and you're being chased by cannibal Barbie dolls with piranha teeth. I think it's safe to say that the audience already knows that we're not in Kansas anymore. So that little dialogue could have got the axe. And that damn skeleton, they got a lot of mileage out of that damn skeleton. Props to the prop department. But what I don't get about the scenes where they always show somebody being gnawed to the bone by these cannibalistic beast creatures is that all the flesh is gone, of course, but so are the clothes. Did they eat the clothes? Did they gnaw them down to such a small molecules that you couldn't see them anymore? Just saying. And speaking of scenes that use the skeleton, what about this little gem of dialogue when the captain and the guy watch Morgan eat shit?
Another acid pool.
There's nothing we can do for him now.
Yeah, because he's a skeleton now. God himself couldn't fix this dude. Alright, that stupid line of dialogue brings us to the next portion of the show, which is the logic. Logic problem number 1. Where the hell are these people walking to? So, the next morning, after the night that they got attacked, the first attack, initial attack, they walk further into the heart of the island. Why wouldn't they just put their backs to the ocean? That way the beast creatures can't come up from the water, unless there's fish creatures that are beasts too. And just wait for the search party that's probably looking for them. But no, they decide to, I know, I'm being hyperly critical, and there wouldn't be a movie if they did that, so. In fact, at a certain point, the captain actually addresses this issue in the lapse in logic. He goes, every time we stop, someone gets hurt or injured, so we gotta keep moving. Newsflash, you're getting hurt and injured even when you're walking. So, I know I'm being hyperly critical of this film, but everything I'm pointing out and bitching about is what makes me love it. It kind of reminds me of, you know, kids commandeering their parents' video camera and going out into the woods and improvising a movie. Something I did with my buds quite a bit in the summer months when summer vacation was too boring and long. If you like good bad movies, you gotta see this movie. If you like movies with little monsters in them, you gotta see this movie. If you like misleading titles, see this movie. 5 out of 10 burning squats. Drag Me to Detroit. Out. Till the next one. Bye.
Droid Ferox Productions. With a name like Droid, you know it for rocks.